Is How to Train Your Dragon live action anywhere close to the original? Let's talk about that in this movie review. Alright, so I just recently watched the live action How to Train Your Dragon. It's the first movie I've seen in a little bit because I got really busy with school. And this first movie review back. I'm looking to get back into the swing of things and add other content, so stay tuned for that. And I was going into it, I heard some good things about it, and then I heard other people saying some bad things. And always with remakes, that was specifically with movies that I enjoyed, you always go in with a lot of caution and criticism. It's the same way if you read a book and you go to watch the movie, you're extra critical to everything in the movie and hold it to a higher standard. Some of my first thoughts on the movie are it's visually appealing. I like it. I love the way Toothless looks. He looks very good, and the characters are pretty well cast. I feel like they capture the personalities a little well, and they all look fairly similar. I was a little worried about what some of the two characters looked like, but honestly, it's fine. It passed through. Their personality carried it. For me, yes, I do think it is important to have the characters look like how they are in the original or in a book, the way they're described. I understand you can't get it exactly because it is a person and not an intimate object that's created through imagination. The movie had some funny moments. It was good. Some of the comedy timing was good. I made a bad joke that made the guy next to me laugh. I don't know, complete stranger. No, that was my brother. But some funny moments. It seemed pretty close to the original. I have not seen the original in a while, and I looked to try to watch it. I couldn't find it anywhere, which is kind of weird. But I saw 2 and 3 places where I could watch, but not 1. I think there's a reason for that, just because this movie was coming out. It's a pretty close remake, and they stick to the original, which it worked. And one of the things that, one of the main things in the original trilogy is the relationship between, obviously, Hiccup and Toothless, but also Hiccup and Astrid, where, kind of competitors to friends to romantic interest, and they have a lot of connection, and they're on the same page in the animated movie. I know, obviously, because they can control it, where sometimes actors just like when they're romantic interest, sometimes it's like they don't seem to be clicking together, but it's pretty good. One of the things that this movie did really well, and that a lot of movies, if they want to have big success in the box office, is how they promote the movie, specifically in social media. I may do a whole new video on this, so I'm gonna skip over that part. Stay tuned. That's a good. It just clicked. A whole idea on how much social media and trends do a part in promoting movie and the success in the box office. So stay tuned for that. That's a movie I'm wanting, or video. Yes, okay, so one of the things though, I saw lots of interviews, which obviously that happens, but specifically of the actor that plays Hiccup and the actress that plays Astrid. A lot of interviews together and a lot of, people editing them. Oh, they're so cute together, stuff like that. that makes you going into the movie, you already have in your mind, oh, they already have a great connection. There's already chemistry. That's how it was altered in my brain. And I was trying to be cognizant of that while watching. And also, one part that made a play into it was that the casting, some people didn't like the characters and how they looked. I thought it was fine while actually watching the movie. But the people in the Burksville at the park with Hiccup and Toothless, I think that guy, I'm gonna look up the box office numbers right now, but him being such a great way how he embodies the original character in himself, I think he probably played a big role in promoting the movie. Alright, so I pulled up the box office numbers here, and granted, I do believe movies have gained more popular. I think it died down a little bit during COVID that time, but has ramped back up, and just because there's more people on the planet now. But it set a record for the franchise in the domestic debut with 84.6 million, and then the domestic box office set a record for 222.7 million. But for the global box office, it's at 478.5 million, which is the lowest, close behind the first one, but it still has time to grow. So it's not a flop. It's not looking like to be a flop at all in the box office, which is good and a very good start. All right, just some final thoughts on the review before I give a rating. I liked how they stayed original. Hiccup was really good. I think Toothless was good. I think, to me, now again, I have not seen the original in a while, but just something seemed off with the pacing in the movie. I felt like it was good in the beginning. Like the pacing in the movie, it went like this. So you want to go like this, like a smooth drive. Right? And maybe towards the end you speed up out of here. But I felt like it was going like this. It was good. And then it sped up the pacing a little too early. I just think stuff started to ramp up a little too early, and we didn't get enough time to really build relationships. So that's why I felt like it was a little rushed towards the end. I liked the beginning. I felt like that was good pacing and timing, but it was just rushed towards the end. The characters, relationships, they were all good. I do think they took a hindrance because of my last point in the rushing and the pace of the movie. We didn't get to see them connect as much. Now, granted, in my mind, oh, they're so connected, but I've seen them in 3 movies, and then also there's shows, which the show has like 7 seasons, which I had no idea. I think I've probably only seen a couple episodes. All right, time for the final rating. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie, and it was pretty faithful to the original. I just think the timing was a little bit off, and besides that, it was good. It was a good remake. I'm really curious if they're gonna make 2 and 3. I would personally love for them to do it, and I think they would get success. Alright, I just looked it up, and it does look like they are gonna do so. They are planning to do remake How to Train Your Dragon 2, and it's in development and set to release in 2027. So that's interesting. I'm up for it. I'll probably go see it. I'll watch it. I'm excited, and I definitely want to. This is making me want to rewatch the original ones. And apparently, How to Train Your Dragon was a book series. That's what the original movies were based off of. So there you go. That's interesting. That's something I didn't know. And is it worth to go watch? Yes, I would say so. Suggestion. It looks great on a big screen. Some movies you can watch at home no problem, but other movies just feel so much better in a cinema. Basically any movie is going to be better in a cinema, but some movies get elevated even more. Is it that one? All that to say, I'm not necessarily saying that for this one. Anyways, that was my review on How to Train Your Dragon live action remake. I'm curious what y'all thought. Feel free to let me know down in the comments. I'll respond to all y'all. And thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you have a great rest of your day. Alrighty, goodbye.